All right. Hey, everybody. All right. So it's Wednesday night again. We're going to do a drawing. And look at this quality on this stream. All I had to do was change my browser. All right. So we're going to do Ahsoka from Star Wars, since tomorrow is May the 4th be with you. We're going to do a Star Wars character. So I'm going to do Ahsoka. And I can't recall if I've ever really drew half her face once. And I'm going to do this, like this top portion. We're not going to do the whole pose. We're just going to do like this torso part here. So let me show the people. Let me show so that's the torso part. Like we're just going to use the torso part up there. So this is going to be our pose reference. So we do our pose reference first, and then we'll, what I'll do is I will turn it into that character, but I got to get the pose down, right? And as always, we're starting with a blank piece of paper, right? So there's nothing on here except for the X that I put on here to mark the middle of the page. So that way I try my best to keep shit centered, but that usually does not happen. So here we go. I got my reference over here. So I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday, right? So I would say the shoulder is going to be her center of her figure. So that means like her shoulder will be right here. We're just going to kind of rough this in. I'll show you guys as soon as I kind of feel comfortable with where we are. And then this trap comes up here. And then this, and then this. And then the trap comes down like this into the breasticles. And then I was playing with my dog today, and I was trying to get the ball out of her mouth, and I sliced the shit out of my finger, and it is a tenderoni. It is a tenderoni. I did not realize that. Like, she didn't bite down. I was trying to snatch the tennis ball out of her mouth, and I pulled my hand, and I guess I didn't realize that they were that sharp just on the edge. Like, she didn't bite down on me. She didn't bite down on me. So it's not like it was a dog bite. It was me trying to get the dang ball out of her mouth and her wanting to play and say, no, you can't have the ball. And then I pulled my hand back and I was like, oh, damn. All right. So for those that don't know, I already have trouble drawing the female anatomy. So the part of the reason that I do these Wednesday nights and I try to focus more on doing female characters is because that's where I have the most trouble outside of doing these sketches. Like when I do, females provide a hurdle. They're not impossible, but they do provide a hurdle. So I'd like to get to a place where the females are not quite as daunting a task for me. And the only way to do that is to do this, right? The only way to do that is to do this. Why is somebody messaging me? Oh, he just went ahead and ordered it. I don't know. Whatever. right. And for those that know that my streams have been pretty choppy over the last maybe like 4 or 5 weeks. And all I had to do was change the browser that I'm using to stream. So StreamYard doesn't really, maybe StreamYard on Chrome doesn't like, uh, StreamYard on the Surface doesn't like the Chrome browser. So the second I switched to Firefox I switched to Firefox on the Surface, like it is an immediate and noticeable huge improvement over what we've been getting for the past couple of streams. So I'm happy to pass that information on. Maybe her anatomy might be a little bit off. Her shoulder might be a little too far in. I didn't leave myself enough room. So I got to move the shoulder just a little bit. You don't want to, it just felt crowded. It felt like it was going to be a little, especially looking at the reference. Like if I'm going off the reference, it felt crowded. But now this looks like it's the different size. And one of the things that makes this difficult for me is I'm doing this while people are watching, which is you, right? So like if I make a mistake, like it's pressure that I've added on myself by doing this shit and trying to learn live, right? So don't recommend that if you don't have to, but otherwise for me, like that's the way I'm going to put pressure on myself is to do it this way. I don't have the discipline to do this on my own with, you know, when nobody's looking. Cause I'm like, if I'm not doing it for the stream, then I need to be doing something to generate income. And, you know, I'll default to the things that you're good at. Like I'm trying to get lead to come out of my pencil. And that is not a euphemism. I'm not trying to, it's just like sitting here. I don't have a backup plan if this thing doesn't go. It's full of lead, but my pencil is full of lead, but I can't get any to come out. I don't know if I have a backup pencil. Let's see. Maybe I got one over here. I don't know. Oh, shit. All right. Should have checked my lead before I got here. Oh, okay, here's another one. All right. It's the same pencil. I think these are 0.03. Whatever. They got some small ass lead on them. But it's the same one. I got two of them. I carry one that I take with me to like events, like signings and shows and stuff like that. And since I'm not really taking enough time. Hey, hello. Is that Jesus? Jesus? Oh, Jose. So I'm not doing it. I'm not taking the time to go exactly one for one with the reference. The reference is to get me close. So I still have to make adjustments to where what I've done measures up to what would be a real person's anatomy. So you still have to, because if you just try to do this exactly and you're doing it fast, and if you mess up on one thing, and your eyes should be able to tell you, all right, hey man, that shit doesn't look right. And that doesn't always work, but if you should have a little bit of that in you. You should know what feels right to a certain level. I guess that kind of comes with practice, though. The more you do it, the more you should be able to recognize, all right, that shit just doesn't quite flow. It doesn't feel. Let's see. All right, so there's the deltoid. Come down like this and that. I need to put a little bit more deltoid on that, a little bit more meat on that deltoid. Looks like my Ahsoka is going to be a little bit more buff than we're used to, and apparently a little bit more larger breasted, but that's not intentional. Like, I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh man, I need to figure out how to draw the biggest breasted women in the world. I'm not a big fan of just drawing titties for the sake of drawing titties. Like, I don't find that to be, I mean, that's possibly me saying that out of like, oh, you're saying that because you're not good at it. But if you were good at it, you'd probably do it all the time. Maybe. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. All right, so we got the, oh, I guess I should show you guys. So here we are. So that's where we are. I feel it's pretty strong right there. We don't have to do too much. So the line's going straight back from the deltoid, and kind of like a little bow for the bicep. You don't want to make her too big, right? So let's just say that's the elbow. Kind of a little bit up. Looks like we got a nice curve. Oh, wow, that's a giant arm. Holy shit. Thing's huge. It's huge. It's a huge arm, buddy. That's a huge arm, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing? That still kind of looks weird. Let's start over. I don't need an octopus lady. Maybe her bicep and things are just too fucking huge. Come on. And then come off here, go straight, and come down. Come straight, and then come down like that, and then come out. And then we come out to this. And then down at an angle. Now that's almost there. If it had started up a little higher, we would have been there. But I got to start like right here. See, that's a wrong. God. That's close. Hopefully she's wearing enough clothes that we can just jazz it all up and hide it under clothes. So I finally moved from Puerto Rico to the U.S. Well, oh, dude, I'm hoping that's a good thing. I hope you weren't like running away from anything or, worried about something bad happening. That's always going to be sucky. Oh, so that hand's kind of twisted back. All right, we're going to have trouble with this hand. So something about this just doesn't. All right, we're just going to draw our own hand. I can't be here all night trying to get this one fucking arm. So we'll just have our arm coming out like this. And then we'll just do like a generic ass fist right here. Oh, that's not right. That's what happens when you try to do it yourself. You get that shit and it ain't right. And then you don't have anybody to blame but yourself. Like you didn't, like, motherfucker, you don't know anatomy well enough to start doing that shit. Stop trying to think you're somebody special. Stop trying to think you're somebody special. You ain't nobody, man. You ain't nobody. Little thumb right here. Little inside of the hand action. And this is like, all right. Well, that hand's much too big. Golly. My eraser really gets a workout. No one's on the YouTube. I don't know, or yeah, no one's on the other thing. I don't understand. I have not figured out how to get people to tune into this shit regularly. I don't know. I have not broken the code of streaming. I have not broken. Let's see, does that work? Let's see. So the deltoid comes down here. And we got a little bulge in the bicep, right? All right, I might have to move it just a little bit. Because and let's make the hand just a wee bit smaller. All right, I think what we've got here is enough to start building. So I'll show you. Somehow I'll show you. So that's the pose that we're going to build with right there. You know better, you know what you're doing. All right. All right, so this is where we're starting. I forgot to even look at the Facebook people. Maybe that's why they're not doing it. They're like, we can't see shit, man. But I don't know. But at least we got a clear picture. That's what's up. And then see on the YouTube and the Facebook thing, I can zoom in with my camera. Boop, 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 boop. I can zoom in. I can't do anything with this over here. This is pretty much just for shits and giggles. So here's my kneaded eraser. If anyone's curious what's going on right now. Taking the kneaded eraser. Oh, we're done with this. All right, so there, that's the end of that. So I take the kneaded eraser, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of like roll it over our image to kind of lift some of that graphite off. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to have to dress up the model. So now that we've lightened the drawing up. So now we have to see how she's dressed. So we need to pick the best version of how to adorn her. All right, so she's got these cool little, we can put, and I'm going to put my version of it on there. Like I'm not going for completely Lucasfilm accurate. Like I'm just, oh, that's the pencil that doesn't work. I'm going to do like a Bryan version of kind of what I think it would, what my version of it would look like. All right, and then she's got some cool arm pads, so we got to remember to get those in there. We'll just make some shit up. She's got some cool hand guards, and she's got finger gloves. So we'll remember all that. And she's got like a neck thing, and she's got a full body. So we don't really have to do much. We just need to mark her center line, it looks like. Oh, all the outfits seem to be different. Shit. There's all kinds of different outfits. Well, We're just going to go with this one that looks like it was based on the television show. All right, so what I do is when I'm doing this part, like I want to mark where I think like the center line is. Like, so it's come down through here, and there's where it comes to the neck. And then here's where it goes over the rib cage. So that kind of helps me know where I'm putting my stuff. So that's what I think is the center line. So maybe this breast is a little, but I'm not going to have like breast. I'm going to have like a unibreast. Like, because if you're wearing clothes like this, the odds of them pulling the breast apart, like that's not happening. So you're going to just have like the unibreast, like a sports bra kind of look to it. And that to me lets people know that, hey, I'm not just trying to draw, sexy women. I'm trying to draw sexy women doing things, but not just simply drawing sexy women to be drawing sexy women. Like that to me doesn't feel like you're accomplishing much. And then again, like I said, it could be just because I don't do it well. So there's always that. There's always that. So she's got like this little design that I'm working in here just to make sure that we don't forget that it's here. And it looks like it comes down like over this way. Oh shit, what happened, buddy? It took me to a shopping list. I did not want to buy one. All right, we're getting close, so I hope this isn't too boring, but that's what it is. That's what it is. I do boring, and I do it a lot. And then I try to stream live as if anyone, would somehow care about how boring everything is. But it's kind of weird. Like she's got like this little Mandalorian thing in the middle of her thing. All right. Well, shit, it took me back to the shopping thing. And like I said, we're just cutting it off at the waist. So even though that's not exactly where her belt buckle would go, we'll just put like this belt buckle here. And then she's got like these lines that run high on her pelvis. So, all right. So we got that. And then she's got the wrist guards over on this side too. Don't forget those. Now we need to work. She's got a very unique head. So that's what we need to work on now. So I got the basic face mapped out. So let's go ahead and try to map out our face again. So we got this part here. We got eye number 1. We got eye number 2. Right now she kind of looks like Nebula. All right, and then we'll put like this little sounds like, oh, and my grandkids are spending the night, and it doesn't sound like they're asleep. And then so we'll give her that. All right, she doesn't really have eyebrows per se. She's got some markings that we are going to need to address. She does have some markings that we're going to have to address. But right now, like I said, drawing females for me is it's a difficulty. So I need to take my time and just try to do as least amount of lines as possible The least amount of lines as possible. It's the least amount of messed up it can get, right? So let's see if her jaw comes through like this. All right, so she doesn't really have ears, so this kind of starts coming up. Does it come all the way up? Let's go all the way over her forehead. I'll show you guys on Instagram in just a bit. All right, so this is what the new middle is right here. So she's got like this piece that comes down. Like this. I'm not sure if I can mess with this at all because I don't want, this seems like it's a very intricate, but I want to just kind of, I want to be able to fudge it a little bit, you know, and have people still understand what's going on. But I don't know if that is going to be possible. So this kind of goes underneath. So it needs to look like it goes around her head. Maybe that's kind of like where Bo-Katan got that little weird head thing that she's got going on that keeps her hair out of her face. All right, so we've got that. I guess, should we do the markings too? Shit. Why can I not enlarge this? Oh, because it's a... All right, let's find a different picture of her face, please. One that doesn't look all pixelated. How about that? Can I zoom in? No. All right, I want to make sure to get her markings correct. Since I'm not overly familiar with the character, I don't have... Everything is the hot toy. Let's go all the way to the top. All right. All right, well, there's a nice picture. All right. We can kind of... So she does have like a cool thing that we can, like some face paint that we can help use to demonstrate the anger of the brow. You know what I mean? Like we can do that with it. And then it's got like a little diamond right here. I like you. I do. I like you. All right, we're getting close. All right, so we do that, and then we put like this weird little triangle thing right here. Oh, well, this triangle probably needs to be... We need to figure something out because the shit ain't quite lining up, right? So... All right, so she got like a little diamond right here. It does look like there's different iterations of her headband, so we can kind of make some shit up. Rick, I know that you want me to draw a Mustang, but the goal of this for me is to draw characters that the audience knows, so that I can use that to get audience people to follow me. And if I draw creator-owned characters, no one knows who that is except you. And that's not, I mean, that's just what it is. I'm not trying to be an a-hole, but I'm not drawing creator-owned characters because of that reason. I need, these streams are trying to be, what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring eyeballs to the work that I do. Like that's what I'm using it for. All right, and I'm not quite sure how floppy these things get. Not even sure like what their width is the whole time. It looks like I'm just making some shit up, so I'm not sure. This is very difficult to try to get the flow of these little dangly things so that they're not too interfering with everything. What's going on, Tyler? I don't know if you mean in quality because I switched over to Firefox. My other streams have been doo-doo. Ahsoka, the race, as long as relaxed is to the bottom of the rib cage. Yeah, that's about where I've got it. But I'm talking about like how like flowy it is. So, and we've already established that Bryan in Drawing Women is not the strongest thing he can do. How did I do this hand? Let's see. The hand is kind of like this right here. So I know that somebody's going to be like, you drew the wrong lightsaber hilt or whatever. And I was to say, I don't know why you don't draw. Dude, I don't know. At first, I thought it was because I didn't draw regular. I didn't have like a regular thing. I would just go live whenever it was time to go live, whenever I felt like this magical urge to go live. And that's kind of hard for people to keep up with. I get that. So I didn't think anything. But with these, like I do these motherfuckers every Wednesday. Like that's pretty regular. So where I didn't show the shit. I didn't show the Instagram people. All right, Instagram people. I kind of already erased it a little bit, but that's where we're starting. Anybody over there on Instagram? I got Instagram over there. All right, so I guess now we can kind of zoom in a little bit. So because look at that, I got a zoom camera and everything. Agreed, it is in the girth is the issue. Yeah, so we'll see if I can. I mean, you already make it difficult, me, and I don't mean you personally, but I already make myself like doing characters that I am not super familiar with, right? So there's that aspect of it. And then there's the female aspect of it. And then there's the fact that it's a female, but it's not exactly like human female. So you got these new dangly things to worry about. And those dangly things are usually not found on women. I'm just kidding. I don't want to start any shit. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit, right? Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. Even as I've gotten better with doing females, like they still come out looking a little on the butch side. Oh, right on. Maybe I should have done that. Then they don't have the dangly things. I was thinking about Darth Maul, but for me, like Darth Maul falls in the category of, oh, the Brian, that's you're doing easy stuff. And the point of me doing these streams was to try to stretch myself. And I didn't think that if I did a Maul that I would be stretching myself too far. It would be more of like doing stuff just to get the likes. You know what I mean? Like it's like you knew you could do that. You didn't challenge yourself or anything. And for me, the streams are designed to try to better my skill set with the pressure of people watching while you fuck up live. It was funny. So last night in acting class, it was time for my partner and I to get up and do our stuff. And the teacher asked, he's like, "Hey man, do you want to just run through the lines one time?" Because sometimes you can just get up there and you can just say the lines out loud just to make sure you've got everything and you're off book. And I said, no, I think we can just fuck this up in real time. That was pretty cool. Everyone got a little kick out of that. Like, yeah, we're just fucking up in real time, man. We don't need to fuck it up in fake time and then try to do it for real. We'll just do it in real time. Discover. All right, I got to keep track of her markings. I can appreciate live. Yeah. Well, I mean, but I know that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fuck up because that's the only way I'm going to get better. And with the pressure of doing it live, that's the only way I'm going to force myself to do it. Otherwise, I'll just come up with excuses not to do it. Because that's just how the fuck I roll. Oh, shit. Oh, you fucked that up. You did all this damn research, and then you go and fuck it up. All right, well, we're just going to operate under this is her face paint. It's not going to be accurate. It's going to be okay. Maybe people will recognize who she is. That's all I need. Hey, Chance? Are you playing with the dog? Are you playing with the dog or are you laying down? Then stop. All right, that's about as good as I don't want to get too deep into the face. Like I said, the more that I do in the face, the more room there is to mess things up. So we're just trying to avoid that. part of it is like lip placement for me. Like when it comes to doing females, like I get that kind of weird. I usually fuck that up somehow. Yeah, her nose is too long. Like there's too much distance right here. That's what we've done wrong with this. I mean that part looks okay, and that part looks acceptable, but it's too much in the middle. And the only thing I could do is to draw the nose up a little higher. Then the lips would still be too small, and I could turn that into a shadow. But fuck, man. I appreciate just you and your honesty and hard talent. Oh, right on, Tyler. I appreciate it, man. I try. I want to. Oh, shit. That was supposed to go behind that. Damn it. I think if I. Not that I'm anybody special, but I do feel that if I maintain a level of honesty, then maybe, just maybe, somebody can find encouragement behind that and know that, whatever they're going through or whatever their struggle is with art or with personal life or whatever it is, like just knowing that dude named Bryan, he's talking about that shit too. So maybe it's not. Oh, damn it. Here's the first fingerprint of the day. All right. Don't want to fucking. We'll just go. We're going to put a lot of black under this to kind of cover all that stuff up. Oh, dude, that's awesome, man. Thank you, sir. And it's weird. Like I think I have plateaued when it comes to the world of variant covers and such. So I've had to try to readjust my adjust what I do and where I think I can advance. So I'm really enjoying the watercolor work that I'm doing, and I think that there won't be a ceiling for that, because you just do it, and then you go put on a show. You go do a gallery showing, and then that's what you do. No one can tell you, oh, there's no cover work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, or I'm going to paint all my stuff, and then I'll go do a gallery show, and some people will buy some stuff and some people won't. And I will not be at the mercy of getting the work. Like, I'm just going to do the work. I don't have to wait for a shop to say, "Oh, Bryan, you're not as popular on social media, and you don't do whatnot and all that stupid shit like everybody else does. So we don't want you to do our cover because you're not one of those people." Whatever. Fuck off. I don't want to play your games. I just want to draw pictures, man. I just want to draw. And if I'm being honest, I'm probably better at drawing that shit than some of your fucking whatnot people. But that's not, I mean, being good is Oh, she's got those cool arm things. I didn't do that. Being good is subjective. Like good for one person may not be good for somebody else. But I do think there's a level of talent that is missing from some people. But whatever. I don't give a shit. Got to get your watercolor. Got to post your watercolor for me. I did. I've been posting them all week. I've been posting them all week. Oh shit! See, why do they make it so they can't get big? Oh well, I'll show you. I can show you guys the one I did today. If I get that light off of it, but see, so like there's the eye, and then there's her nose, and then there's her mouth, and there's her teeth, and then there's a naked lady right here. There's a boobie, and then her hips come over here, and then her arms come down here. But people don't see that. You don't see that. It's crazy. I'll show you guys. That's the watercolor I did today. That's the one I did today. Yeah, I don't play ball well enough to advance in the I don't play ball well enough to advance in the variant cover market. I know for a fact that I have the skill to do it. I know that for a fact, but the other fact is that I don't like the taste of other people's wieners in my mouth, and that will keep me from working every day. You really got to like the taste of other people's wieners. At least I think so. Shit, I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody and said, hey, man, do you like the taste of wieners? But I want to make it sound like I've done the research. I'm not great at drawing hands either. So we are really just trying to make something that looks like it can pass for a hand. Because she's got the finger gloves on. So that's what I'm doing now is like making the adjustments for the finger gloves. And then like she'll have the finger glove here for her thumb. And her thumb will come down like that. And then that'll put this knuckle right around here. Put this knuckle. And then they'll start to come in like this. Wow, that turned out pretty cool. That cracked me up, and me and my girl up. You researched the ballpark, Frank Slickley. No. I'm not really big in sausage consumption. I'm trying to lose weight, and sausage consumption. So I've decided to go play a different sport if that's what it takes. So I don't play that, and it's not like. And honestly, this has nothing to do with homophobia. I don't give a shit what you guys do, but what it is I don't think I need to. I don't need to play that type of game in order to get the work. My work is good enough. And by playing that game, it devalues the work. If I have to suck wieners to get jobs, then is my work that good, or is my wiener sucking that good? I don't know. So I don't want to have that in question. I want people to say, "Oh shit, that Bryan's work is fucking next level. You need to get him on a project." That's what we need to do. What have we been doing this whole time? And then there'll always be that one guy, well, does he do, does he do the thing that the last couple of guys did? And they'll be like, nah, but look at the work. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll let it slide this time. Oh, this hand just got terrible. Terrible, as some NBA people would say. Shit's terrible. So what, like I said, so for anyone that follow, like, we're just doing this so that we can erase everything else and then come in and do the things. Come in and do the things that make everybody go ooh and ah when you do the cool stuff. So there's gonna be a lightsaber coming out here, so I'm just gonna kind of make some shit up right here. And then there. All right. And that is where we're starting. Instagram. Oh, shit. There's the Instagram, folks. That's where we're starting. I think you are really good at wiener. All right. So now that we've got all this down, we grab our eraser and we're going to erase all the pencil stuff we can. Oh, shit. I didn't do that lightsaber. Oh, well. We'll just have to make that shit up on the fly. We'll fuck it up live. So we get rid of all of our pencil. And the reason that I do it this way is because when you run this eraser over it, it picks up some of the ink. And for me, I like my inks to be as inky black as they can. And if I inked the whole thing and then ran an eraser over it, my ink work would be inconsistent with like how dark it is. And I don't, for some reason, that's where I draw the line. Flashlight on the floor. Well, what? Yeah, at least I got the hand right. Like I did the hand as if it was holding something. So that's half the battle. Had I drawn a closed hand, we would have had a problem. I haven't figured out my style of female eye, like how to do anything. Well, okay, I should back up. I haven't figured out how to do my style of female. I haven't figured out the female body well enough to have like I need to figure out how much I can do, what's the minimum amount I can do and have it still read as female. And then that's where I'll do. Like, what is the minimum I can do and still have people understand what's going on here? I mean, we can pull that nose up a little bit with a shadow. Let's see what we can do. Now, this is where Bryan's going to fuck it up. Watch. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see if he did it. Let's see if he fucked it up. Yeah, it looks like he might have. That motherfucker. Now she's got a little bit more of a pronounced nose, but whatever. At least it's a little higher up on her face. It is kind of weird. So what we'll do is we'll blacken in this top lip as well, and maybe that'll hide some of the shenanigans. Some of the bullshit Bryan's doing over here. And this right here is why Bryan doesn't do lessons, or why don't you do a how to draw or anything like that? Because Bryan doesn't know how to draw well enough to try to teach someone else how to do it. He's still figuring this shit out, right? So by no means do I know what I'm doing. Just because I know more than you doesn't mean that I know what I'm doing. All right, that's about as good as you're going to get. That fucking man face there. That's it. That's what you get. Seems like you gave her a hit. Oh, man, shut up. I scooted her nose up. All I got to do is really just hit the shadows on the other stuff, and then it'll look like it's a lighting thing. What are you doing, Chance? Come here. I can't hear you. I want to know why you're awake. You thought I was talking to you? Man, you know I'm talking to the people that are watching the stream. I'm not. You're supposed to be sleeping, so of course I'm not going to be talking to you.
I heard you talking loud, though.
That's because I'm all riled up, Chance. I'm all riled up. I can't get no work, man. Shit. All right, go to sleep. All right, there we go. Pretty close. It's a dirty stitches. All right, that's better. I mean, that's better. All right, I need to stop. I'm going to get too carried away, and then it's going to start turning into Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right, let's see what we can do with this. All right, looks like we got a little fuck up there, so we're gonna have to fix that. So grab this, and then we unfuck it. Well, we're trying to disguise the fuck up. You really can't. It's not going to go away completely. As long as we lighten it up, and then we do all the set dressing around it, and then people won't see it. Or if they do, fuck them. I dare you to say something. I dare you to say something. 'Cause it's been a while since I've given somebody a stupid prize. It's been a while since I gave out a stupid prize. All right. All right, let's show the people that aren't watching on Instagram where we are. See, I do the thing on Instagram too, and nobody tunes up there either. So don't feel bad, Facebook. Don't feel bad, Facebook. Instagram isn't much better. And if we really wanted to fucking hurt our feelings, we would go on TikTok. Everybody keeps telling me, oh, Bryan, you would make a killing on TikTok. And I'm like, okay. And then I do it. And guess what I didn't do? Guess what I didn't do? I didn't fucking kill it. Everyone thinks they know the answer to someone else's thing. Hey, man, you know what you should do? You know what you should do? You know what you should do? You should draw this. You know what you should do? You should get a whatnot. You know what you should do? You should do this. Motherfucker, it's easy to play. It's easy to say that when it's not your money and time and all that bullshit. Talk about, you know what you should do. You know what you should do? You should shut the fuck up and let me do my thing. That's what you should do. I appreciate you trying to help me out, but shut the fuck up. You know what you should do? You should mark your Funko Pops down to $2.99. But why? Oh, man, you'd sell more of them if they were down to $2.99. Yeah, but then I wouldn't make any money. Oh, well, that's not what you should do. I'll tell you how to do your shit. I'll tell you how to do mine. OnlyFans holding the paintbrush. That would be a sight to see. Yeah, I can see that working. 2 balls, 1 brush. That's what we call it. We call it 2 balls, 1 brush. So we got to come through and we got to add those markings. 1 guy, 1 brush, and 1 cup. I'm not doing now. If I was doing watercolor, I could have the cup. Have a cup of water. Golly. First off, just thinking about putting the brush in my urethra. God dang. I remember one time I watched one of those extreme videos because I clicked on 2 girls, 1 cup. And then I was like, oh, what else is this next video? And then that's when you saw the guy with the glass jar. And then I saw somebody, I forgot what the catchy title was. Oh, something about playing in a sandbox. And there was this girl, and she was jamming a female aid inside the front male hole. And I was just like, God, and like working it. Like it wasn't just like a, let's try that. She was working it. And I couldn't, like, all I could do was wince. Like, I just, how do you, oh, I've been catheterized and I am not down for that. All right. So this one is I don't like these, by the way. I just ordered them in abundance and I have to go through them. This is a Stadler 0.1, but if I could pick, I would pick a Micron. So I have a Micron 3, but my Micron 1s, I go through them quickly, so I was trying a new one. Oh, also, I got some other pins, but I don't know where they are at the moment. I got some Uniballs. But the Uniballs work good, but I don't like these. I don't like these at all. For me, these don't throw down as dark a line as the other ones. It almost feels like this one lays down like a more of a gray line than the other ones. And you might have to go over it a couple of times before you get to something that's, for me, dark enough to where I like it. No, I'm clear that the brush will fit in somebody, but it ain't going to be me. The brush will fit in somebody. I know that it does fit in the human anatomy. I've seen things that fit into other places, and I'm still not dying to try that stuff. Yeah, the human body is a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, I like the Microns. Microns are my jam. If I could have an endless supply of liner pins, it would be Microns. And that's what if I could win the lottery of and they said, you win a lifetime supply of your favorite liners. And I would be like, Micron, let's go. And I hate that too. Let's go. Everybody says that. Let's fucking go. And all I can think to myself is, shut fucking up. I don't. You sound like someone who just doesn't have any kind of education or any personality. You're like, let's fucking go. Fucking shut up. I hate that. Anything in the urethra. Come here, man. I don't know if you think that I can have supersonic hearing. So that's supposed to be like the shadow coming off of her shoulder pad there. Like kind of dissipating. Now her boob comes right in here, but it kind of looks awkward, like it should come right here. So we need to indicate that that's what's going on, just to please the eye. It's almost like I made a tangent without, like I made a tangent, but it wasn't really a tangent. I don't know how to explain that. It feels tangentized. Yeah, Micron is my jammy jam. I would show this to the people on Instagram, but right there on Instagram, I can see that nobody is watching. So, not going to bother. Not going to bother lifting the paper up. Ah. Oh, you know what I did? I did it maybe 4 days ago. I broke down and bought a subscription to a music site. I had been fighting that battle. I was like, I don't want to pay for a music subscription site. But it got to the point where I couldn't get the free stuff to do what it used to do. Like the free stuff was getting, yay, Wendy. The free stuff was getting so, like I think they purposely made it like buggy and so that it didn't work like it used to try to get people to come on. It wasn't so much the ads that got me, it was just the functionality of the whole thing. And I have all of my songs, like I have MP3s. I don't know if I'm just an old head, but I've got fucking loads and loads of MP3s that I enjoy. And I don't want to have to like buy new music when I've got all of them on my computer. So I was just fighting it. I was just fighting it and fighting it and fighting it. But I finally broke down and I bought myself a Spotify subscription like a couple of days ago. And I tell you what, for as much stuff as I do using music, which is, going on my walks and doing my paintings, doing my drawings, and just getting in my zone, like music is the thing that I use for all of those. And I am really enjoying the accessibility of what I have now. So that's pretty cool. And I mean, it is $10 a month, which I think is kind of like, all right. And you still don't have access to like every single song. You have access to whoever they have the rights or whatever thing. And I only have seen a couple of examples of, oh, well, we don't have that artist or we don't have that version of the song. It hasn't happened to me a lot. So all that'll be black. And then we'll come out under here. And what's cool also is I'm discovering songs that I didn't know, because I was like, I know if I told people what I listened to, they'll get all judgy, especially Tyler. Tyler would get judgy. He'd be like, oh my God. But I really enjoy listening to females sing love songs, whatever, doesn't matter. But like BB Rexa, God dang, something about that music right there just gets me going. Lana Del Rey, all of that shit, it's just fucking magic. Love it so much. Love it so much. Sofia, hola, ¿cómo está? Oh, so I was told the other day in acting class that so now I have this little beard thing, and I've started to get more sun, and I've lost weight. So they told me that I could probably play. They said that my racial, is ambiguous. I'm racially ambiguous. I mean, I'm not going to be confused for an African American, but according to the people that they don't owe me anything, but they said that it looks like I could be mixed with black. They said it looked like I could be mixed with Puerto Rican. So they kept telling me all this. So they said it would be cool, and you may get more work if I leaned into my Cuban heritage and like had a last name that indicated I was of Latin descent. So I did some researching, and I do have a mildly cool last name that I'm going to put as Bryan SilverbaX's middle name. Bryan Castellario SilverbaX is going to be the name, and I'm thinking about going to get my name legally changed so that we can just embrace that whole thing fully. Stop fucking around. Because my daughter wants to change her name to SilverbaX too. And that's for reasons that we're not going to get into right now. But so she wants to have a new last name. And so she asked me, she's like, Dad, when are you going to change your last name to SilverbaX? Because when you do it. I'll change mine too. And so it may sound like selfish, but my daughter is basically kind of asking me for help to help process through some issues. And so, Dad, what are you waiting on? There we go. That kind of looks like fabric stuff. Oh, that is not, dude. When I tell you I'm Cuban, that is not a thing. And I wasn't doing it as a contest. I'm not fucking pulling out a measuring stick and saying I'm whiter than you are or anything like that. I mean, people that act like they have disabilities don't fucking have disabilities. It's just they have the ability to look like they do. So I have been encouraged to do such things, and then I will just not falsely doing anything. I'm not misleading anybody. And if that's what it takes to get your stuff started, then you fucking get your stuff started. Right? Obviously, the fucking variant cover game, I don't have the right equipment for sucking my way to the top on that. So, oh shit, man, we forgot the fucking other lightsaber. Two of my kids want to legally change their first names. Yeah, this one's less vanity. Like my daughter has some things that come associated with the name, some pain that she's processing and that she'll be processing for the rest of her life. And I understand. And she wants to do it if Dad will do it with her, you know? And I get that. So if I don't do it for me, I'll do it for her. See, this fucking Stadler pen almost looks like it's got blue ink in it. It could. I mean, I'm sure there's no promises, but it certainly wouldn't hurt, you know? Can't get much worse. All right, we're not going to spend too much time on it. We've been doing this for an hour and 20 minutes. It's time for me to wrap this shit up and figure out what I'm doing the rest of the night. Because I got to get up early and go watch Guardians tomorrow. taking Chance with me. This is going to be the first time that Chance and I have gone to the movie theater together. So we'll see how this goes. You know what? Let's just throw some shadows down there. And then I think my heart will be better. My heart will be better if I can. I don't like looking at people's artwork that don't add shadows. Like, it just feels like they don't even have to be right. You know, you're just telling people there's dimension. Like, you just have to be close. Look, that already looks so much better just because you did that. Like, it looks like a real thing. Yeah, and some of them aren't even female drawing artists. Some of them are just good at saying the right things to the right people. There's some people that I've seen that just there's almost like a complete lack of skill, but artistic skill, but they've somehow found ways to say that they're an artist. I don't know. So whatever. I mean, good for them. I'm not mad at them one bit. I just can't believe that the industry and the people that are buying the customers, I can't believe they are accepting some of this shit. I think that's the most disheartening thing, is seeing that people are just like, oh my God, I can't wait to have that cover from that new person. And you're just like, what are you seeing that I don't see? And you know, if the customers would stop, if they wouldn't purchase those covers, then there would be no need for them, but they're not going to. So stop swimming upstream, man. Yeah, I don't even want to get into the digital stuff because I don't know for a fact, but I do think that it has gotten very easy to just set your reference down and paint on top of it, and then no one will know. And I'm saying, like, no one will know. You can do enough to it to where no one will find out. And then when you try to ask those same people to draw something in person, like you've got your sketchbook out at a convention and you're like, hey man, would you draw in my sketchbook? And the same person that is that digital painter can't even fucking work out like a smiley face, like, or something that's even tangible. Like, I don't expect it to be the same quality as your multi-hour digital painting or whatever. Like, I get that, but I do expect you to be able to draw. And when I show up to your table and you're like, oh, I don't do drawings during conventions because I'm a digital whatever, and you're like, really? So you can't even like draw at all? I don't know. There's something about that is very suspect, I guess is the word. Like I said, I'm not expecting you to draw the exact same cool shit that you draw when you do in the paintings that take hours and hours and hours. But if you're that good, you should know enough about anatomy. You should know enough about lighting. You should know enough about all the basics to like get something down on that kid's paper or the adult's paper or whatever the case is. But you just flat out saying that, oh, I don't do that because I'm a digital guy, like that's bullshit. I don't think you can draw. And now I will look at all your stuff that I see you posting And I may not post online, but I look up where I think it came from, and I will lay your drawing right on top of the fucking thing that you think that nobody knows what you did. And I see it, but I don't post about it because I don't give a shit. Well, I don't give a public shit. I give a personal shit. But I don't give a public shit. But I know you and I, but you, the artist, will both of us will know that you can't draw. You fuck around and you copy and paste and just change just enough so that nobody will recognize it. But some of y'all are just some lazy motherfuckers. Yeah, this is where people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's not her lightsaber." Whatever. I don't give a shit. It's maybe she just picked up somebody else's stuff. That's what she did. She picked up somebody else's stuff. That's why it's like this. Oh, I forgot. That's a light source too. Shit. Yeah, if I can recreate your cover with a simple keyword Google search and copy and paste stuff, I'm not a big yeah. That's another reason why I am not worried about AI doing my job, because people either want a Bryan cover or they don't. But they certainly, like, I draw and I paint, and you can't do that. You can get a cool cover, but you're not going to get a Bryan cover. Like, you're not going to get whatever it is that I bring. You can't get that. But what you can get is something similar to those digital people that are basically AI, but they're not letting you know that that's what they are. They're doing all the things that AI is doing. Thank you, buddy. There's very few, but and by no means am I saying that my stuff is great, but there's going to be something that says Bryan on there every time. Like it'll be like, oh, I could see by how many fucking shadows and how much black is used, that's a Bryan piece. Whereas I can see that piece has 7 fingers and it looks just like artist A, who did all those covers for everybody and their brother. Whatever. I don't care. It sounds like I care, but I promise you, I don't. Turkey sharks. I still have the OA for turkey sharks. I don't think anybody will ever buy it. I mean, I don't know how many people he's gotten as part of his thing, but it just doesn't seem like the name is very unglamorous. I'm sure there's some sort of reasoning behind it, and he may have told me and I just forgot, but there's nothing about when you go to a comic book store and you say, "Hey man, do you have the new Turkey Sharks?" It just doesn't sound like a title. It doesn't sound like an appealing, "Oh man, you got the latest issue of Turkey Sharks." I expect, like, when someone says that, I say, "Are you joking?" No, it's a title. And you're like, "Oh, okay." And that's nothing against the guy. What's his name? Neil? It's nothing against him. It's just, I think it's just not great marketing. Like you have to think of more than just what it is. You're like, "Oh, well, my brother Jimbo died and he called everybody Turkey Sharks, so I'm going to call my book Turkey Sharks." That is a fucking phenomenal reason to call it Turkey Sharks. But if you want to make money, you need to call that Jimbo and the Boys and have Turkey Sharks be a joke that you throw in the book or something. But you really have to think about the customer. Like, what is the customer going to think? Like, how I want people to pick my book up. So, I mean, You got a book called Murder Hobo. You're like, what the fuck is that? I want to pick that up. Phantom Star Killer. Oh man, that sounds great. On the lesser note, Loggerhead, right? So there's that. But those names, you're like, okay, I need to know more about what's going on because that title or the way that says sounds interesting. There's something there that I want to learn more about. And I just don't feel that the title of Turkey Sharks, like it really sounds like it's a Looney Tunes book. But if he, I mean, but then there's the thing, like then he's like, I'm just doing this for shits and giggles. If his goal is not to uh like become a huge success or whatever, then rock on. Call it whatever means something to you. But I'm coming at it as if I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to make a business out of this. Like that's some people just do comics as a like a hobby or like, oh, that'd be cool. I finally did it. I got that thing done. I've been saying I wanted to do since high school. Like that's cool. But some people are really trying to like become, next level. They're not just doing it. So I'm thinking as if that's what's going on. So if Turkey Sharks, right on. All right. So now we just got to do her little thingamabobs. Oh, wow. There is an, all right. Let's see. I'll post that up there so that I can try to read it out loud. I'm not a fucking good reader. Whoops. Well, there is the extent of copying a pose versus creating one. Oh, dude, I'll copy a pose. I got books and books of copying poses. Yeah, if you say copying poses is bad, y'all can take a wiener because that's what reference is for. This whole book is nothing but poses. And I got books and books and books of this. So I'm not saying anything bad about that. So I'm not sure if that's where you're going. I used a pose for this, but I didn't draw a pose from Ahsoka. Oh, dude, I'd let it go for like $50. But I don't have the time. Art isn't my income. Don't get me wrong. I want to be Burr now since I'm older. I need a certain no, and I get that. So like I said, I don't know what everybody's full intentions are, but if my intentions were to like, let's say I wanted my intentions were to have, Image pick up my title, I would not call it Turkey Sharks. But like if my intent was to honor, a friend of mine that passed in a car accident who we called Turkey, like maybe that's a good enough reason, and that's why I did it. But if my goal is to try to get some people to invest in my thing, then I don't know if I would have picked that one. Well, this isn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Just kind of doing these little weird rings, right? And put a little nipple on there. Boop, little nipple on there. Hey, Mike. All right, she doesn't have any markings on her arms, right? Any shoulder stuff. So it looks like we're good. We just got to do the little lightsaber thing. I guess we should draw the other lightsaber though too, huh? Thank you, Facebook user. Facebook user chiming in, letting us know. Did you see I went? Oh, yeah. I mean, there's an audience for all that stuff. It seems to be doing well for you. I get it. I get it. It's all about the evolution. Oh, these fucking lightsabers are a little rough, but I think we all understand what they're supposed to be, right? We understand what they're supposed to be. This is why you should have planned it out first, Bryan, so you wouldn't have to do this, weirdo. Looks like shit now. Looks like shit now. So if you do this and you go all the way down the lightsaber, it'll give it a cool, like, oh shit. And people think you meant to do that shit, which is half of what we do. We try to make it look like we meant to do that. I mean, oh, it'd be cool. Like you could come in and you could even like do her little. Oh, this doesn't quite show up as white, but you could. All right, so we are done. That is today's piece. That is today's piece. Somebody wants another piece. All right, and what did this take us? This took us an hour and 40 minutes. From zero to finished in an hour and 40 minutes. So right on. There we go. Not too bad. I mean, it falls into the acceptable range. Falls into the acceptable range. So please follow me on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and all that shit at Bryan SilverbaX, and buy some shit from me. So thank you all. Like and subscribe or whatever the hell else you're supposed to be doing. So thank you guys.